Okay, hi. So I'm 7 weeks post-op getting my breast implants removed. I'm excited to do this video today because I asked on social media what questions you have. I wrote them all down in my phone so that we can just go through the list. I can answer them and then you'll have a little Q&A to look back to if you're thinking about getting breast implants or getting them removed. My name's Katie. I'm a functional nutritionist. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, stay around for a while, and let's get into it. I'm also going to put my social media links and my email down below, so feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about any of this, and I'm more than happy to share any of the knowledge and education that I have. Apparently we have a little visitor today. Okay, so the first question, was it painful? Yes, it was definitely painful. I would say the first 3 days were the worst. When you think about you're going under for a surgery, so when you wake up, you're taking pain meds right away, and then eventually those things wear off. So I set a timer in my phone. I believe I took the medications every 4 hours. So every 4 hours, I would take it right on the dot, even if I wasn't in pain yet. And I know that there's a lot of controversy around, should you be taking antibiotics? Should you be taking pain meds? Because all of these things can be disruptive for your gut. They can cause more issues in the future. But you know what? I prepared my gut so well before surgery and right after surgery that I felt totally okay to do this. And at the end of the day, there's a time and place for this. And for me, that was just my personal decision. So yes, it was painful. The first 3 days were the worst, and then it slowly got better from there. Okay, what size were the implants? So my implants were about 275 cc. So they weren't huge. I'll put a picture here actually of what I looked like right before I got my implants in. I was 25 years old. I had lost a lot of weight. I was really over exercising, doing a lot of kickboxing, weightlifting, spin class, like everything and anything that you can think of. And so this is the size that they were before, and this is when I got them put in and why I got them put in. Okay, what type of removal did I have done? So I didn't know prior that there was so many different types of removals and that it can actually be a more complicated surgery because scar tissue forms. So I got something called an en-bloc full capsulectomy. And what this means, or my understanding of what it means, is that over time scar tissue can form, and usually does form, around your implant, and it can form a capsule. And so when they remove it, I decided that I want it all removed. If it's safe to do so, take everything out. If I'm going through the surgery anyways, let's just do it. And so that's what I decided to get done. So I did a lot of research, and then I found a surgeon in my area that specialized in explant removal and specialized in this type of implant removal. He's located in New West, so I'll make sure to link him down below as well. Okay, am I happier now? So I'm still recovering. I'm 7 weeks post-surgery, but honestly, this just feels like such a relief in my body. So I would say, yes, I'm happier. Granted, I'm just at a completely different place in my life than I was when I got them put in. Like I said, I was 25, I was bartending, I was going out, I was just living my life. I mean, I'm still living my life, but I'm in a very different place now where I'm just trying to be the healthiest version of me. At the end of the day, I just wanted to see if this would help to decrease symptoms. I was on the fence, do I replace them or do I just take them out? And I took them out, and honestly, I could not be happier. So far, anyways, this is definitely the right decision for me and the best decision that I made, and I'm happy that I went for it. So yes, I am happier now. What symptoms went away? Okay, so I'm still obviously on my journey. I'm 7 weeks post-op, like I've said. The biggest thing that I noticed the day of surgery or the day after surgery was how much easier I can breathe. So I didn't even know that I wasn't breathing properly, I guess, or that I wasn't able to take deep breaths, but it was just crazy that that's what I noticed right away. I would say my headaches have definitely decreased. Again, it's hard to say because I'm not fully back into the gym how I was before. I'm definitely back into work and all of that type of stuff. I do feel less heavy. So I feel less puffy overall. I feel less heavy. I feel more clear-headed, I would say. And I will keep you posted, especially I'm curious to see what's going to happen when I'm, back into my full gym routine and all of that. Which brings me to my next question. What am I doing? Am I able to work out? So I believe around 4 weeks post-op or probably 5 weeks post-op, I started doing just mat Pilates at home, lower body and abs only, so nothing with the upper body, like arms reaching or anything. I was doing that twice a week, but before that I really focused on my step goal. So over the weeks, I think even in the first week I tried to walk a little bit. I made it to the end of the street, that was that. But then I was able to increase it, so now I'm at 10,000 to 12,000 steps a day. I'm doing mat Pilates, again, still just lower body and abs at home 2 to 3 times a week. I'm hoping next week will be 3 weeks or 3 times a week for sure, and then I can increase it to 4, and I'm hoping that I can slowly start to increase some light upper body. I've just been super careful this time around. I don't want to push it. I'm someone who typically jumps back into everything full force, and then it just prolongs the recovery. So I'm really trying to listen to my body. It was definitely a while before I could wash my hair and lift my arm, so I have lots of range of motion now. It feels a little bit of pulling underneath. And oh, that's something I forgot to mention. Okay, so I did mention what type of removal I had, but also what else I got done. So that question's further down. Anyways, we'll just answer it now. So what else I had done? So yes, I had the implants out, and then I had a lift. Basically, the skin had stretched, so I wanted a lift. I know a lot of women choose not to get it. I wanted it. I did that. So I do have the anchor scar underneath, and then they did cut around the areola, and they took out some of the areola. So with implants, depending on the size and if you're gaining weight and if your boobs just naturally fluctuate and get bigger and smaller, your areolas can actually stretch out. I didn't know this was a thing. Quite a few of my friends that have implants had this happen as well. So the surgeon suggested that we just kind of cut that down a little bit so that it looks more proportionate now on my smaller boobs again. So that is what I had done. He also said it would look better if I had just a tiny bit of liposuction on the sides. Just so that nothing was like bulging out, I guess. So I did do that. I'm not sure how much he took out. It was a really small amount, but I do have like a little lump on the side still, just from that being done, that is supposed to dissipate over time. Okay, what size are they now? You guys are gonna hate me. I am not sure. I thought by now I would be going out, buying bras, getting measured properly, all of that type of stuff. That is just something I've put off. I actually love this surgical bra. Okay, it's so comfy. It has these like straps. It just holds everything in. It's really just my security blanket. So yes, I need to go get measured properly for some new bras, which hopefully I will do in the next few weeks. And when I do, I will let you know what cup size, band size, everything is now compared to when I had my implants. And if I can dig it up, then I will let you know what size they were with the band, cup size, everything before my implants. I know that they were A cup, but I can't remember the band size. Oh, that's a question later down. Why did I get them in? Okay, well, let's just go with why I got them in first. Okay, so I got my implants put in, like I said, when I was 25. I was really lean. I lost a lot of weight, and of course it all went from my boobs and other parts of my body. But I was an A cup, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just didn't feel confident in myself. I was young, and really at the end of the day, I was trying to fill a void, right? I just didn't know myself that well. I was looking for external attention. I wanted to feel confident and comfortable in my clothes, all of that type of stuff. So that's why I got them put in. Now, why did I get them out? Okay, so since the time I got my implants put in, I've been in a bad car. Sorry, my dog's crying. This is Ted, by the way. Okay, so why I got my implants removed. So since the time that I got my implants put in, I was in a bad car accident, which led me with a traumatic brain injury, a concussion. That started to improve. Then I got sick with Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune thyroid disease. And so a lot of these symptoms are very similar to those of breast implant illness. A lot of symptoms started to get better, but basically since then, I've just put so much time, effort, money into being the healthiest version of me. And I was like, well, honestly, if I'm putting all this time, effort, and money in, am I gonna get my implants replaced, or should I just take these toxic bags out, see what happens? And I even told myself, okay, because I wasn't fully sure, if I regret it, I can get them put back in a few years, but I don't regret it yet. And so that's why I got them out, and I'm so happy I did. I feel so much better overall. And really it was just, do I get them out or do I get them replaced, right? And so for my health, I decided to get them out. Okay. What should I do before surgery to prepare? I get my implants out in a few weeks. Okay, first of all, this is amazing. I know that this is such a big decision and it can be so hard. I'm not sure if this person has symptoms of breast implant illness or why they're choosing to get them out. But some of the biggest things I did before surgery, I actually have another video, you can go back and look at it, that goes into a lot more detail. But I would really say to focus on a more anti-inflammatory diet. So if you can, go gluten-free, dairy-free, refined sugar-free, any other food sensitivities that you have, just really focus on eating whole nutrient-dense foods. Make sure you're eating enough to fuel your body. All of these things are gonna help to reduce inflammation in your body and really help with healing, right? So it's not just what you do after, it's what you do before. I also drank so much bone broth before and after. That just has really good collagen and gelatin. Again, that can help with healing. Definitely recommend that. When it comes to supplements, I talk about them in the other video, but you always want to make sure that you are checking in with your surgeon. So some supplements can actually thin your blood before surgery, so you have to stop them at a certain point. So you can go back, look at that video, definitely talk to your surgeon about all of that. And then the other huge thing that I think is so important that I did before surgery was I started to journal. Now, I am not someone who journals often. I don't like it. It just doesn't come naturally to me, okay? I don't like to write my feelings down, what I'm going through, because I'm always afraid that someone else is gonna find it, and it's just not my thing. But I committed to it. I believe 4 or 6 weeks before my surgery. Every single morning, it was part of my morning routine, I sat down and I just journaled anything that came up. And a lot of what was coming up was, am I going to regret this? How are my clothes going to fit? Where is my self-worth at? Right, when you think about these implants are part of you, like they've been a part of my body for 9 years. So obviously it's gonna be a little weird when they're gone, but this was so helpful because then when I got my implants out and when I got to the point where I started to put on regular clothes and things fit differently, I was already in the habit of just writing down whatever I was feeling and just getting it out so that I'm not overthinking it, playing it in my head and kind of storing that as trauma in my body. So if you're gonna pick one thing, actually 2 things. If you're gonna pick 2 things, definitely the anti-inflammatory diet. I believe that that is really key, whatever anti-inflammatory looks like to you. So really just focusing on whole foods, very, very important. Number 2 is journaling or expressing yourself so that when these feelings do come up or any doubts come up, you already have that habit, you have that resource to go to. Okay, would you recommend someone get implants? I'm never going to say don't do something. You should do whatever you want. Do whatever makes you happy as long as you're not harming other people. What I will say is do your research. There's so much more research out now than there was like 10 years ago. Do your research. Make sure you talk to a few different surgeons. And it really comes down to research. Understand that you're gonna have to get these replaced at some point or multiple times. They're not cheap, so that's money. Understand the complications that can happen. I know quite a few people who had leaking from their implants, and that can affect things like your lymphatic system, which you don't really want to mess with, as well as so much other stuff. So understanding the risks just of surgery in itself, understanding that yes, you're gonna have scars. If you ever get them out eventually, you're gonna have bigger scars because they have, or the surgeon I saw anyways explained to me that where your scar is, they have to cut a little bit further every time. And then if you're gonna get a lift, then you get a different scar, the anchor type scar. So just really understand the pros and cons of what you're doing right now, but also what future self is gonna go through, right? That's so important. If you could go back in time, would you get implants? Okay, so I'm someone who I always say no regrets. So they served a purpose. They served, you know, at that point in my life, they served their purpose. If I knew what I know now, I think I would have thought about it a little bit more. I wish there was more research out, and I wish that I went and I dug for that research. I wish that I asked more and more questions to surgeons, to other people out there about them. But no, I do not regret them. We had a great 9 years together. I'm much more happy with my decision now to get them out, but there's no regrets. Everything comes into your life for a reason. Okay, so that's the list of questions that I had. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Stick around for a while. If you have any questions to me, concerns, anything, make sure you reach out to me. I'm more than happy to chat.